Resumed last night. The expectation of fast times was a given. Although one world record was buzzed by the USA's Jordan Stolz, none has fallen in Calgary just yet. That could be about to change. Day 2 of World Cup Calgary will see our opening event as the most likely world record to be broken. Italy's Davide Giotto has his sights set on Niels van der Poel's 10K record that has stood for 3 years. Giotto set the fastest time ever in the fall, but it wasn't recognized as a world record. But today, the record officially could be his. We will also today see the superhuman Jordan Stolz back on the ice, endeavoring for his astounding 19th straight World Cup gold. We'll see Stolz in the 1,000, and Japan's Miho Takagi shoots for a 6th straight World Cup gold. Both Stolz and Takagi stayed perfect last night. This is ISU's coverage of World Cup speed skating from Calgary. Good afternoon and welcome wherever you may be watching across North America and around the world. Patrick Keane is with you for Day 2 from the Olympic Oval. We knew it would be fast. Through the first day and a half of the weekend, there have been 82 personal best times rewritten. That includes 17 more earlier today in the B division, 8 on the women's side in the 1,500, 9 on the men's side in the B division of the 1,000. That goes along with 52 total we saw yesterday in the opening session, and then 13 more in the A division last night. But again, many storylines. Stolz, Brittany Bowe of the United States. We will see her as we get a look at our schedule of events for the main session of Day 2. We will open things up with the men's 10,000 meter. Davide Giotto will be the headline story. We'll also see an effort at the unofficial junior world record in the 10K. More on that a little bit later. The women's 1,500 meter, and then we'll close today's session with the men's 1,000. The B division of the men's 10K will be after the conclusion of the 3 A division races. Then tomorrow, the 500 meters for both the men and the women, the mass start, and we'll close with the team sprint. So we'll look at the famed ice here at the Olympic Oval in Calgary, Alberta, built ahead of the 1988 Olympic Winter Games. It has lived beyond its years. They're looking for a financial infusion to get this facility back to where it needs to get. But at least one more time here, the World Cup descends on Calgary. We will see 6 pairs in the men's 10,000 meter. Here is a look at the World Cup standings coming in. Giotto, who will be targeting the world record held by Niels van der Poel, set almost 3 years ago. Giotto top of the table. Sandra Eitram, who was the European all-around champion a couple of weeks ago. We'll see Eitram and Giotto in the same pair, pair 5. Here's a look at that start list. We will begin with Bosker and Beckert. Casey Dawson of the United States in pair 2. Ted-Jan Bloemen, the track record holder and former world record holder in the 10K. Chris Heisinger in pair 4. Then we see Giotto and Eitram in pair 5. And the 18-year-old from Czechia, Zilik, matching up against Graham Fish in the final pair. And called to the line for the opening pair. Nacho cheese is warm. The gloves are on, and fans supporting the Dutch, the Koreans, the Canadians, the Americans. They are all here as pair 1 comes to the line.
The first pairing of the men's 10,000 meter, 25 laps around a 400-meter track. Allow me to introduce to you the first pairing. In the inside lane from the country of the Netherlands, Marcel Bosker.
There's Marcel Bosker, Olympian in Beijing for the Netherlands, 28-year-old. And from Germany, Patrick Beckert, who has been an Olympian 4 separate times representing Germany. 25 laps.
Ready.
So away we go in what will be a long and drawn-out first hour and a quarter of our broadcast. 6 pairs. The times we'll see sub 13 minutes for each of these skaters. We'll see lap times in that 30 to 31 and a half second range. And that will come into play a bit later on as Giotto in pair 5 did go below the world record set by Niels van der Poel back in Inzel in the fall, but it wasn't recognized. And today he will take dead aim at it, as will others. So underway in the men's 10,000 meter, Boskar, a 4-time world champion, all in team pursuits for the Dutch. Actually, his mom was a Dutch all-around champ back in 1989, Henriette Boskar van der Meer. His dad was also a member of the Dutch national team. And for Patrick Beckert of Germany, he's out of the B division. That's where he was the first couple of World Cups this year. He won the B division race in Beijing. That helped to catapult him now into the A division running of the 10K. He's the brother of Olympic champion Stephanie Beckert, who claimed an Olympic gold medal in Vancouver in 2010 in the team pursuit for Germany. So there you're going to look at the lap times. High 38s as these two wind it up and try to mentally prepare themselves for this 10,000 meter race. The women skated the 5,000 meter, which is a unusually long distance for the first time this World Cup campaign. Joy Boone of the Netherlands and Meryl Konijn finished 1-2. And the ageless Martina Sablikova of Czechia back in the podium last night for the bronze. But these are long distance experts. So 10,000 meters, it's just a physical game and a mental game, as Boskar and Beckert are both out in 2:38 at that split. We'll see varying styles of how these skaters handle the ice. Notably, what we'll see in a couple of pairs from now, when we get to Chris Huizinga in pair 4, broached this topic a bit last night when the women were in the 5,000, because we did see a couple of competitors race the entire 5K with both hands on the back, as we're seeing here. But this is where the difference will come, and something that the Dutch's Chris Huizinga kind of accidentally came across as far as his game a couple of years ago. Instead of swinging the one arm coming out of the corners and then laying that second hand on his back, as we see right there from the German Beckert. Boskar keeps both hands on the back, but Huizinga decided to give it a shot. He found that his times were actually faster late in races on laps without the arm swing. And then he basically adopted that to his entire race moving forward, and his times have gotten precipitatively better. And we've seen other competitors now begin to do the same as they see their times drop. And Boskar, Huizinga's Dutch teammate, adopting that philosophy at least so far through this 10K. And 9 laps into this 25-lap race, Boskar 4:43.34. His personal best is a hair under 13 minutes. Patrick Beckert, the German, 34 years of age. Representing Germany in 4 Olympic Games, going all the way back to 2010 in Vancouver, when his sister won gold. At that stage, Becker was a rising star for the Germans at the age of 20. Oscar, several years ago, when he was on the way up for the Dutch, when he was 22, he took bronze in the world all-around in 2018. And he's been in and out of the A division so far this year. Finished 6th in Beijing in the A division, but was in the B division in Nagano at the World Cup stop that began the campaign. And the 4,800 meter split. Lap times in the low 31s. Oscar right now about a second and a third on top of Beckert. Just a metronomic gliding across the ice. The longest distance on the circuit here, the 10K. And whether it's speed skating or swimming or marathon running, it's so much about control of the mind and your body. And you know, these skaters are skating thousands of meters per day to get ready for races like these. And who knows what they're doing inside their heads. Some are just counting out the strokes. Some might be singing songs internally to each other to, again, make sure that they're right on the right pace. As Bosker now begins to drop that right arm with 11 laps to go. A 31.3 on that lap. And that's right about where Bosker has been over the last 4 laps or so. But again, to take a target at Van der Poel's world record, you really need to be right at about 30-second full laps, if not a little bit quicker. Because that first lap is obviously going to be a little bit slower from the standing starts. But the lap times from the first full lap all the way through will need to be 30 low, 29 high, somewhere in that range to really get that world record a run. .64 meter split. The lap time is increasing a bit for each Bosker and Beckert. Bosker 1.6 seconds ahead of this stage. We'll see one American in the field. The Dutch will round out a couple of more in the same pair. Pair 4, Bo Snellick, Chris Huizinga. Italy, we have Giotto and Malfatti. Malfatti will be in the next pair. Canada will send out both Graham Fish in the final pair and Ted-Jan Bloemen. And Norway's Sander Eitram, who won the all-around championship at the Euros a couple of weeks ago. Seven laps to come. Bosker still maintaining about a 1.5-second lead in this opening pair on Patrick Beckert of Germany. But Beckert beginning to flatten out his lap times over the last couple as he tries to pick up some ground on Bosker. And Beckert shaves off about 1/3 of a second. So he is making up ground on Marcel Bosker. There's the 1.5, the black 1, the red 5. That's shorthand for these skaters, just to take a glance at their coaches to see what their time was on that previous lap. Because they can do all the calculations in their head, and they know what the lap times need to be to hit a specific target number. A 31-1 on that lap for Beckert, and he continues to charge in the back third of this 10K. A lot of stages in this race where you begin to feel it. None more so than about right now with 4 laps to go. And for the first time, Marcel Bosker is now on the chase. Beckert a 30.69 lap, and he just continues to wind it up and getting faster. So Patrick Beckert conserving in the front half of the race. It's paying some serious dividends here. And now we'll see what Bosker could do to get back in it. We'll check Beckert's lap time, another easy sub-31 for Patrick Beckert, 30.7. And he's now a second ahead of Bosker. So now, wet those lips, get as much air in the lungs as you can. 2 laps to come for Patrick Beckert in the lead at 30.65. He continues to throw down reverse splits. And that's his fastest lap since the second full lap of this race. And he is going after it now. Patrick Beckert is about to hear the bell. A 35.6 for Beckert. And Beckert is looking at about a 13.01, 13.02 if the pace holds up here. His personal best is 12.47. So here comes Patrick Beckert. The final straight is his. And an excellent back half race for the 34-year-old German. 13.02.29 for Patrick Beckert. Bosker, 13.06.47. So Patrick Beckert, 13.02.29, the official time. But again, the times that we expect to see a little bit later, especially as it comes down to Giotto, and he's likely going to be in that 12, even maybe 12:28, 27 range. So about 30 seconds faster if Giotto comes through with that type of effort like he put forth in the fall. And even the teenager from Czechia, Zilek, could go sub 12:50. Maybe 12:45. So now to pair 2. Here's the 24-year-old American, Casey Dawson. Bronze in Beijing. He's part of the American Team Pursuit medal-winning squad. And Michel Malfatti, an Olympian who raced the 5K and the 10K in Beijing for Italy. Malfatti, 30-year-old in the blue skin suit to the left. So off we go, the American Casey Dawson, who was on a World Junior podium on the way up the junior ranks 5 years ago, taking bronze in the 5K. And Malfatti, who was 8th at the World Single Distance Championships at this 10K distance last year on this ice here in Calgary. Dawson's personal best, 12:58.4. Malfatti has also been sub 13 minutes, 12:59.3. So pair 2, Casey Dawson of the United States, Malfatti of Italy. Curious to know what a warm-up process is like for these distance skaters. I mean, are they warming up by skating 1,500 meters to get the body loose? 3,000? I mean, how many laps, how many meters are already on the legs of these skaters ahead of the official 10K? There's a look at Malfatti. Each of these skaters, a couple of top 10 finishes on the opening 2 World Cup stops. Dawson was 8th in both Nagano and Beijing. Malfatti as best as a 7th place finish in Nagano on the opening World Cup stop. Four laps in, 2:06.61 for Malfatti at this stage. And he'll take the draft if he can get it. A lot of races packaged within the 10,000 meters, as we saw in the opening pair. Beckert clearly focusing on a strong back half, really back third, to be frank. And we'll follow these times for Dawson and Malfatti. They now each go below 31 seconds on that last lap. Both Malfatti and Dawson, at least for the early stages of this race, clasping both hands on their back. There's Malfatti holding on to that right wrist. Seven laps in, Malfatti goes a 30.47 last 400 meters. Now looking at Beckert, he did not have a single lap that was below 30. Nor did Bosker. So that's when we will know that one of these skaters is really getting after it if they can, as we see Dawson go 30.56. And Dawson beginning to pick up some ice on Malfatti. "16 laps to go. And about a 1 second advantage for Malfatti at this stage over the American Casey Dawson. Mouths are open, trying to bring in a little bit more air to the lungs. But those arms are still stapled to their backs with 15 laps to go. Another 30.4 for Dawson, and he is closing in on Malfatti in this pair. Effectively matching lap times there. 30:54 Dawson, 30:55 Malfatti. The Italian still nominally in front. But now beginning to move toward the back half of this 10K. And Casey Dawson still a 30:46 split. And he is about another 400 meters as he gets the thumbs up from taking the lead in this pair from Malfatti. And looking pretty strong at that. "12 laps to go. A 36 for Dawson. Malfatti actually outsplits him on that lap. So maintaining the lead, Malfatti. Can certainly feel the American breathing down his neck. Now into about the last 6 or 7 laps is where we saw Becker begin to throw those reverse splits into the low 30s down the stretch. Dawson again, a consistent lap, 30.5. Malfatti about a half second slower. So Dawson has been the portrait of consistency in this race. Malfatti has been more of an EKG chart. Final 10 laps in Dawson, another 3.4. Malfatti at 30.48. So Malfatti's vacillating between 30.4, 30.5, but to 30.9. But Dawson is just consistently in that 30.4, 30.5. A very narrow, consistent range for the American. Now Dawson will cross the line in front in this pair for the first time, and he goes 30.2. That is his fastest so far since his first full lap of this race. And we've yet to see a sub-30-second lap out of the first couple of pairs, but got to get the sense that one's coming here from Casey Dawson. 30.15. Getting closer to that 30-second benchmark. And Dawson has now extended his lead to about a second and a half on Malfatti. And I like the approach of Casey Dawson for the U.S. Check the lap time here, 30.17 for Dawson. 7 laps to go. And he is showing no signs of fatigue at all. Malfatti all the way over 31 on that last lap. Fatigue is definitely painted on the face of Malfatti, who's now a couple of seconds behind Dawson. You don't see a lot of strain right now in the face or body language of Dawson. He may be feeling it certainly on the inside, but there's nothing on the exterior. And a 30.09 that last lap for Dawson. Fastest of the event. And again, Dawson, his PB is just below 13 minutes. He's flirting with that right now. 12:58.42 is Dawson's best time. And he's giving that a look here. 30.2 with 5 laps to go. Malfatti still bleeding more time at the back of your screen. So Dawson coming up on 4 laps to go. So tack on about 2 minutes to his split time here. That'll give ETA on his arrival, and he's looking at about a 12:47 or so, and that would be an outstanding time for Casey Dawson. That would shatter his personal best by over 10 seconds if he can maintain it the rest of the way. Yeah, these are the races you want to save it up for. 30.13 for Casey Dawson, and he is looking at mid 12:45s. And Dawson trying to put himself perhaps in podium contention here. 4 pairs remain. So here is Dawson. 2 more laps to go for the American Casey Dawson. That last lap at a 30:19. He's still on it. And Dawson is looking squarely at a 12:45, 12:46, which would obliterate his personal best by about a dozen seconds. And those hands have not left his back the entire race, have they? Bell lap now for Casey Dawson. And he goes 30.10. Now that right arm comes off the penultimate corner for Dawson. It's pinned on his back one more time with everything he has left. Here's the American Casey Dawson, the 24-year-old Olympian, feeling the pain now, but this is a lifetime race for him. The final few meters for Dawson. Will he be below 12:46? Here he comes to the line, and he is. Look at that. Oh, yeah, fist pump deserved. Stops his own watch on that left wrist. A 12:45.45 for Casey Dawson. That is a phenomenal effort. Look at that. Breaks his personal best by almost 13 seconds. And he is your leader in the clubhouse with 4 pairs to go. And that's a solid time. Will it be podium worthy? Remains to be seen. But he's put himself in the mix. Great effort by the American Casey Dawson. Here are his last, 9 laps. 31, 30.1, 30 flat, 30.1, 30.2, 30.1, 30.1, 30.1, 30.1. Let's get it done. Pair 3. Bart Swings, Olympic champion in the mass start in Beijing. And here is the former world champ and the former world record holder at this distance, Ted-Jan Bloemen. He held the 10K world record for almost 5 years. Now at the age of 38. Bloemen still holds the track record here in Calgary. He set that about 2.5 years ago. Well, as we now get into pair 3 with Ted-Jan Bloemen, you have Kyoto coming up in pair 5, Graham Fish in pair 6. Each of those 3 racers have held the world record in the 10K over the last decade or so. Bloemen held it for 5 years. When we talk about the world record progression in the 10K, Graham Fish then broke Bloemen's mark. 12:33.86 did that back in February of 2020, and then it was Vanderpool taking it away in February of 21 after Fish held it for a year. And again, Kyoto is you don't want to say he's the odds-on favorite, but he has a strong opportunity to become the next world record holder here in the 10K if things work out here today in the next half hour. Yeah. Teddy Bloman held the 10K world record from November 21st of 2015 until February of 2020. So about 4.5 calendar years for Teddy Bloman. And even last year, world silver medalist in the 10K. Held the Olympic record of the 10K as well. Took gold in the 10K in Pyeongchang, silver in the 5K, also in the Pyeongchang Winter Olympic Games. But still kicking here in the long distances on the men's side, Teddy Bloman. Bart Swings, meanwhile, is the Belgian national record holder, 12:57.31. He was 9th last year at the world single distance in the 10K. But Swings is much more well known as a mass start specialist, world champion, Olympic champion. There's a look at the boots and the blades of Bloman at a 29.79. So already we are seeing our first sub 30-second laps by anybody in this event. Dropped down by Teddy Bloman. And barely breaking his sweat, right? You look at his visage. And right now, this is a Sunday stroll. Another 29.59 for Teddy Bloman. I mean, this is now the difference, because you take a look at the lap times we saw in the final half of that race set by the American Casey Dawson. 30.1s, 30.2s. I mean, right now Teddy Bloman is 29.5s, 29.6s. You extrapolate those times across 25 laps, and that's how you go from 12:45 to flirting with a 12:30 in a world record. And that's what we expect to see from Bloman. Potentially high as a guess, certainly with Giotto and even Fish and Gielik. That's going to be a really compelling last pair. Gielik, the 18-year-old world record holder at the junior level at the 3K and the 5K range. And Graham Fish, former world record holder in his own right, as I mentioned a little bit ago. And Bloman goes above 30 seconds for the first time. 30.08. Teddy Bloman at 30.19. 9 laps in, he's at 4:31 low. And Bart Swings 4:39 right now overall seconds after that split to the first 6 competitors. .16 for Bloman. .400-meter split. Bloman at 30.3. So times are edging up a little bit for Bloman over the last 3 laps. They're trying to set a tough time for Huizinga and Giotto and Fish and company to get underneath. Bloman right now in the long distance rankings over this World Cup season is number 8. 6th place finish in Nagano and 9th at Beijing. Those are both 5,000 meter races. World Cup heads to Milwaukee next week. And back to the 5K distance for the men. There's a look at the world record split for Nils van der Poel. That's a great graphic to have up because that will be tested once, maybe twice here today. And that gives you an idea where Tedjan Bloemen is in respect to where Nils van der Poel was in February of 22 in Beijing at the Olympic Games. And again, the 7:05:43, and Tedjan Bloemen right now is beneath that world record split of van der Poel. Well, we thought a couple of world records may fall here in Calgary this weekend. Perhaps one last night with Jordan Stolz buzzing the tower of Kiel. Now it's his 1,500-meter world record, but now it's maintained the world record. We'll check where the split is for Tedjan Bloemen right now, and 34.89, so he's about 600ths ahead of the world record pace. That is great anticipation by the ISU graphic team. Tedjan Bloemen. And again, he has raced this 10K so many times. He knows where these numbers are. And Van Bloemen, for the first time, is now outside of the world record splits by Van der Poel. You saw that 400-meter split from Nils compared to Van Bloemen. Van Bloemen gave back about a second and a half. And that's why he's now fallen outside the number. We will see that graphic again probably over most of the final three pairs. Certainly when Giotto and Fish and Gilek are on the ice. A 31.9 on that last lap for Bloemen. He still is about 5.5 seconds to the good of Casey Dawson. And Swings beginning to pick up some ground on Tedjan Bloemen. And Swings has been picking up about a second and a half on Tedjan Bloemen over the last 3 laps. And Swings is going to find himself right in the middle of this race here in about 3 or 4 laps time. He picks up another 1.3 seconds on Tedjan. Now Swings is in the background, and he's munching up some ice as he chases down Tedjan Bloemen. And Swings' personal best is 12:57.31 here, the 10K. I mean, we'll see how this race plays out. This may not be a race that Tedjan Bloemen even wins. He goes 32.3, and Swings picks up about 2 1/3 seconds. And Bart Swings looking strong here at the back half of this 10K. And Tedjan Bloemen laboring. This is a grueling 10,000-meter race. And you can feel Bart Swings inching up on Tedjan Bloemen. He picks up another almost 2 full seconds on that last lap. And Tedjan Bloemen is now hanging on for dear life in this pair. And Swings is going to take the draft, swing to the outer, and Bart is likely going to jump right past Tedjan Bloemen on this lap. And may very well on this home straight. 4 laps to go. And a marginal lead for Bloemen, and here comes Bart Swings. And you can see the body language for Tedjan Bloemen. He is beginning to lose form. He's certainly losing speed, and Swings on the inner goes right past him. So Bart Swings, who at one stage of this race was about 9 seconds behind Tedjan Bloemen, And Bart Swings is now on top of him by about 2 seconds. 3 laps to go. And Swings is looking at about a 12:53, 12:54 range, which would be personal best territory for him. Little peek at his lap time. 2 laps left for Swings. A 31.2. And Blowman puts up a 33.1. Lap and a half remaining for Bart Swings, who now is in command of this third pair. And Bart is about to hear the bell. He's not in range to nail down Casey Dawson. He's 7 seconds behind, but Bart Swings does have a personal best in the crosshairs here, and he's urged by his Belgian coach. 12:57.31 is the personal best for Swings. Casey Dawson's 12:45.43 is now gone, and here comes Bart Swings down the home straight. And will he set a personal best? I think the answer is going to be a definitive yes. Bart Swings, 12:53.86. That is a personal best by about 3.5 seconds for Swings. And Ted-Jan Blowman does not break the 13-minute barrier. About halfway through the race, they were teasing the world record split, but that quickly faded over the final 5,200 meters or so for Ted-Jan. Swings currently second. And Ted-Jan Blowman right now sitting fourth. So Casey Dawson of the United States, still a podium possibility. So good applause as Ted-Jan Blowman departs the ice. Bart Swings an excellent second half of that race. So there's a look at Casey Dawson on the phone. Yeah, family, friends. Excellent race by the American. 12:45.43. And Bart Swings takes that extra lap to cool down. 3 more pairs to come. We'll see Snellick and Heisinger coming up next. Eitram and Giotto in pair 5. And then the teenagers Gilek and Fish in pair 6. So halfway through the 10K. And I believe they're going to resurface the ice and get ready for the circle-seeded final 3 pairs of this men's 10,000 meter. So it sounds like the resumption will be in 13 minutes time. 57 minutes past the hour, if I overheard the PA announcer properly. So they will resurface the ice. We will take a break. Halfway through the men's 10K, the 24-year-old American, Casey Dawson, right now top of the table with a personal best with an emphasis. 12:45.43 for Casey Dawson. But Heisinger, Eitram, Giotto, Fish, Gilek, and Snellick are all on the way. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. ISU World Cup Calgary continues.
minutes to the start, 2 minutes.
Back to the Olympic Oval in Calgary, Alberta. World Cup 3 this weekend here. And we are now at the midway mark of the men's 10,000 meter. And American Casey Dawson right now sits on top of the standings. They've just resurfaced the ice, and we're back with the final three pairs. And we did have an appearance on the graphics of Nils van der Poel, the world record holder from Sweden, set it a couple of years ago. Then he retired about a month after the Beijing Olympics, which is where he set that world record. It could be in play here. His name appeared midway through that last pair. Ted-Jan Bloemen was under world record pace at around the midway mark and then faded badly. It actually did not even win his pair. But moving forward, we're likely going to see that graphic pop up a few more times. As we move to pair four, Bo Snellick, 23-year-old from the Dutch, two-time world champ of the team pursuit. And from the Netherlands as well, Chris Huizinga, world junior champ at the 5,000 several years ago. He's now 27 years of age. And we talked about the skating style of a Huizinga a couple of times this weekend in Calgary. And this is the skater who, again, figured out that, at least for him and perhaps for others, two hands on the back the entire race in the 10K and 5K shaved him time and led to some personal bests and led to some much faster final laps. So we will watch Huizinga, who with the Dutch all-around skated a 12:39.87. But he tried it in a 5,000 race a couple of years ago. Instead of swinging out of the corners, lap times he found went down. And that now has become a staple of his style, along with several others who have kind of met the same results as they've executed the same technique. And Huizinga, that 12:39.87 was a personal best of the Dutch all-around. That would be 9 seconds plus or minus off of the world record set by van der Poel. So we'll see how the lap times move on, and we'll see who's going to buzz the tower here of the world record set by the Swede a couple of years ago. We know that in our next pair, Giotto certainly can do it, and actually had a faster time than the world record. It just was not a sanctioned, a recognized world record time back in Germany in the fall. So he will try to do it for real in Calgary coming up in a mere few moments. If you're just hopping on the broadcast right now here in day two, after the 10,000 meter is complete, and there are three more pairs, including this one, to go, then they will get the ice ready for the women's 1,500 meters, which means we will see Miho Takagi, the world record holder, Joy Buena, Brittany Bowe, Evgeny Blondin, Hanmei, along with others. And then we will close our coverage with the 1,000 meter A division on the men's side, which means Jordan Stolz going for a 19th consecutive World Cup gold medal in a row. But Yenny Nebo, Kjell Naus will actually be in the final pair matched up against Stolz. That'll be a fun finish to the men's 1,000. Tomorrow, the 500 meters, the mass starts, the team sprints. And then on to Milwaukee next weekend. Huizinga in that red armband, Snellick in the white. Snellick at this stage of the World Cup season is actually ranked higher in the World Cup classification at the long distance than Huizinga. Snellick is right now number 3. He's been on the podium each of the 2 World Cups, silver in Nagano, bronze at Beijing. Huizinga has yet to be on the podium. His best finish was in Beijing, finishing 4th. fans here in Calgary absolutely love their speed skating. So some huge roars for Ted-Jan Bloemen in the early to mid part of his race a few minutes ago. Graham Fish, the Canadian former world record holder, will be in the last pair, but if Giotto gives the world record a run in the next pair, these Canadian fans will be as supportive as they would be in the Kingdom if this were on Tealf ice. Each of these skaters, a couple of seconds to the good of Casey Dawson's leading time right now. Dawson at 12:45.43. But Dawson in his race did not have any sub 30-second laps. Huizinga 33. Snellick 30.6. Mirror images down the home straight for Snellick and Huizinga. And a 30.09 for Huizinga. Another 30 low for Huizinga. He's beginning to tease that sub 30. There you see the 00 right there for Huizinga. He's liking it. And again, to get after that world record of Vanderpool, the average lap time is basically right at 30 seconds, but it's not as though every lap is going to be 30 seconds, especially the opening lap is going to be in that 34, 35 range. So they really need to be, 29.7, 29.8 for the full laps after the race gets underway. So those are the numbers we'll be following with Giotto especially. Graham Fish. 12 laps left, another 30.08 for Huizinga. So he's been, 30.09, 30.09, 30.08 the last three. Huizinga in the beard and that red armband on his right arm. A 30.10 that time for Huizinga. So he's been quick and consistent. Face doesn't appear to be labored at all yet for Huizinga. 30.09 again, and Snellick matches him for the first time. And Snellick still about a second and a third behind in this pair. Coach on the ice doesn't need to adjust the numbers at all here for Chris Huizinga. Leave the 0-0 in place. It's been that way for the last 5 laps. How about this one? A 30.32. Snellick picks up a little bit of time on him. So right now, pacing it around at 12:41 or so for Huizinga. And again, Dawson right now sitting at 12:45. Huizinga 30.55, so Again, a tad slower these last couple of orbits for Huizinga. And Snellick picks up a quarter second. And Snellick closing on Huizinga. 7 laps to go. And Snellick picks up another 3/10. And he's within about a half a second. So at this pace, Snellick in a couple of laps could be leading this pair with about, 4 laps to go. We'll see if there's been something held in reserve for Huizinga. Six laps left, and Huizinga dips down a little bit faster. Tapped the gas that time, as did Snellick. 30.0s for both. Still a half-second lead for Huizinga. Yeah, he could feel his countrymen right on his heels. Five laps left. Snellick goes sub-30. 29.85 for Bo. And he's now within 3/10 of Huizinga with a bullet. There's a look at Huizinga in the red armband. Snellick on the left side of your screen. Now let's see as this race tightens up. Those times are now both under 30 seconds. Snellick at 29.89. Huizinga breaks the 30-second barrier for the first time. Well, who do you like in the finish here? Huizinga has been a little bit up and down these last few laps. Snellick has just been consistently faster. And Snellick is going to have the lead for the first time in this pair at this moment. A 29.67 for Bo. He's in front with 3 laps left. And Snellick is looking right downstream at a personal best. Leaning into that corner. There's Huizinga. His eyes dropped a little bit there. Perhaps a bit of fatigue at the stages of his 10K. Another 29.6 for Snellick. He picks up about a second and a third on Huizinga. And this pair now belongs to Bo Snellick. And he could go below 12:40 here. His personal best is 12:40.298, so he has that certainly well in range. Again, Casey Dawson, 12:45.43. There is the bell, and Snellick is now leading by almost 6 seconds. And yeah, he's looking at around a 39, maybe low 40s. Final corner for the 23-year-old from the Netherlands, Bo Snellick. And he is going to be your leader in this World Cup Calgary with 2 pairs to come. We'll see what kind of time he throws down. Will it be below 12:40? Yes! 12:39.35 for Bo Snellick. And Huizinga's 12:45.13 does get underneath Casey Dawson. So Bo Snellick, he's your leader. So Huizinga in the second position, Dawson now third, and your leader is Bo Snellick of the Netherlands. 12:39.35. And each of his last 6 laps were below 30 seconds. Great work. Nice ovation from this Calgary crowd for Bo Snelling. And now we get to a very impressive pair. The world record that is held for the last couple of years by Nils van der Poel of Sweden is in jeopardy. There is Sander Eitram, the European all-around champ. And here is Davide Giotto, the world champion in the 10K last year, two-time world champ. Took bronze in Beijing in the 10K for the two-time Olympian, but he wants not only the Calgary gold, but he wants the world record of Van der Poel. So off we go, and again, if you're just tuning in, Giotto went faster than Van der Poel's world record in Inzel on October 26th of last year. He went 12:26:30. The world record is 12:30.74. But it didn't meet the criteria to qualify as a world record. So as a result, Van der Poel's world record of 12:30 still stands. Now, when Giotto won the 10K at the Euros, he did so in 12:35.96, which was the fastest recognized time of the year, but that was still about 5 seconds slower than Van der Poel's world mark. So we will watch this with eagle eyes for Davide Giotto of Italy. And again, to target that world record from this lap on, 30 seconds is the target. Giotto went out in that opening lap in 33.1, again from the standing start, but now you're talking, you need that 29.6, 29.7 range to bring it home. And Giotto off to a good start, as was Sander Eitram. Eitram won the 5K in Beijing, took bronze in Nagano. Giotto took gold in Nagano, silver in Beijing. So these are the top two ranked long-distance male speed skaters this year. So we'll watch Giotto, the 31-year-old. Eitram is only 22. Now this is a heavyweight pair. As a matter of fact, the world single distance podium at the 10K last year here in Calgary, well, there is the gold medalist, Giotto. Ted-Jan Bloemen won silver, and Graham Fish, who was in the final pair next, won bronze. So all of the wrecking balls in the 10K are here in Calgary. A 29.83 for Giotto. Eitram a hair over 30. I mean, this is a record that Giotto wants, and this is the right ice to give it a true run. Because there have been dozens and dozens, and as a matter of fact, I believe over 300 world records set on this ice in Calgary over the 38 years this has been in existence. And Giotto at 29.69. Yeah, there are certain rinks, certain ovals around the world where world records go to die. This would be one of them. Salt Lake City certainly is another. But there is no World Cup stop this year in Salt Lake City. A 29.78 for Giotto, Eitram at 29.88. And there you see the 9.8 for Sander Eitram. And I would imagine after the next couple of laps, we'll start to see the comparative splits between Nils van der Poel and Davide Giotto. Coming to the 3,200-meter split, 17 laps to go, another 29.89 for Giotto. He's about 1 3/4 seconds clear of Eitram in this pair. Giotto, meanwhile, in that World Championship from last year, he won it by over 8 seconds over Ted-Jan Bloemen. A 29.85 for Giotto. So every full lap has been below 30 for Giotto after he opened in 33.1. And now we see our first comparative split between Niels van der Poel and Davide Giotto, and he is under the van der Poel split at this stage by a healthy margin. But we saw Ted-Jan Bloemen ahead of the pace as well, and once Ted-Jan hit around the 52 or 5600 mark, his times went way up, and van der Poel's splits were still in that 29.6, 29.7 range. And Giotto picks up another almost 3/10 on van der Poel's world record split for that lap. 29.83 for Giotto. Again, Giotto and Enzo went 12:26.30. Faster than the world record time. There's Nils. Lap of the 4800 was 29.90. Giotto loses 300ths there to Nils. 2.5 seconds up in the pair on Eitram, but still under world record pace. But I do not have the splits moving forward in front of me on Niels van der Poel. So we'll just follow along the graphics. We see Nils 30.06, and Giotto picks up 3/10. And he is still better than 5 seconds ahead of the Niels van der Poel pace at this stage for the world record. And a 29.53 for Giotto. So now the 6,000 meter split, Giotto picks up another 3,500ths. And he is almost 6 seconds ahead of world record pace. And how does Giotto look coming right at you? Physically fine. Technique stable. Just locked in on his goal. How did he fare in this lap against Nils? He picks up 500ths more. So he is nearly 6 seconds ahead of world record pace at this stage of the 10K. And again, the unrecognized time for Giotto was about 4.5 seconds faster than van der Poel's. So Giotto has been here before. 29.83 for Nils. He picks up 500ths more. 8 laps left, and Giotto has a absolute legitimate shot at a world record. Davide Giotto can do the numbers in his head right now. He knows what he needs the rest of the way over these last 7.5 laps. Van der Poel put down a 29.88, and he picks up another quarter second. Davide Giotto. Too early to say on his way to a world record. So many things can happen, but he is in prime position to take down Niels van der Poel's world record mark. And And you can feel the fans' support and interest really grow. And he picks up 1,200s more, even though Van der Poel went faster. 29.64 for Giotto. And he looks absolutely laser focused. Here comes Giotto. Down the straight. 5 laps to go. And he adds more time to his lead on the record. He is 6.5 seconds ahead of world record pace. Look at his coaches on the ice, exhorting him on. This has the possibility of an historic 10,000 meter race for the 31-year-old Italian Davide Giotto. 4 laps remain. Giotto adds even more time. He's almost 7 seconds ahead of world record pace. It is almost a foregone conclusion now. Giotto laboring a bit, but driving with every ounce that he has. Three laps to come. Giotto, for the first time in several laps, loses a little bit of time, but he still is about 6.5 seconds ahead of pace. The world spotlight is on Davide Giotto, coming up on 2 laps to a world record. And he is 6.5 seconds to the good. A 29.56 for Davide Giotto. A lap and a half to history. The mouth open. The air sucked in. Coming up on the final 400 meters, the bell will ring for a future world record. There's the bell. And Giotto is still 6 seconds ahead of world record pace, and the right arm flings down off his back for the first time. The coaches exhorting Giotto on. Down the back straight, the final corner, the tongue hanging out of the mouth for the 31-year-old Davide Giotto. The world record he thought he set in October is his now. The arms are raised, and it's a blistering world record of 12 minutes, 25 seconds, and .70. World record to the 31-year-old Italian Davide Giotto. And this one is certified. He can't believe it. The dream is a reality. And overcome with emotions. Giotto just broke the record by 5.04 seconds. And the time he put down back in October that was faster than the world record of Van der Poel, Giotto just went faster than that. Let there be no dispute this time. And look at that reaction once he sees the time. The fans will remember this moment and a lifetime memory for Giotto.
Final pairing. Are you ready? You thought you were cheering now?
Final pair now of the men's 10K. The gold is not even totally secure yet. Witold Gilek, there's the teenager aiming for the World Junior unofficial 10K record. And here's the former world record holder, Graham Fish. He held the world record in the 10K before Van der Poel broke it. And now the Van der Poel record is no more. And now, if you're a Graham Fish, you have this entire arena behind you. You just witnessed history with what Giotto threw down in that world record performance. In the back of your mind, you know if you have the capability of going that fast. And if he does, we'll see it today. So there is Fish. In the foreground, that is the 18-year-old from Czechia, in Gilek, the World Junior silver medalist in the 5K last year, a former World Junior champion, and his story is interesting as well. The unofficial junior world record was set a couple of years ago here in Calgary by Norway's Sigurd Heinrichsen of 13:02:53. Similar to the 10K in Inzel that Giotto raced back in October, Gilek went about 16 seconds faster than that World Junior record, but his time wasn't recognized either. So the opportunity now for this 18-year-old slender Czech on the ice to break the World Junior 10K record. He already owns the World Junior 3,000 meter record and the 5,000 meter record. And now Gilek in the final pair with Graham Fish. Now just to put Giotto's world record in perspective here as it relates to Graham Fish. Giotto's first lap was 33.1. Fish, if he's going to have any opportunity, he went out in 35.3. So he already now is spotting Giotto an extra 2.25 seconds on that opening lap of this 10K, which means the average lap times the rest of the way will need to be that much faster than what we saw from Giotto. So that just makes things even more daunting for Graham Fish. And gives you an idea just how consistently ultra fast that Giotto was. Gilek finds himself right now in the lead as you're looking at him straight on. There's Graham Fish. But Gilek up on the senior circuit. The World Cup opening events in Nagano, he was in the B division. He won that Nagano race in the B division, promoted to the A division in Beijing. He finished 5th with a personal best. And now here he is, not just in the A division again, but he's in the final pair with a former world record holder and a world champion in Graham Fish. Fish won the world championship in the 10K 5 years ago. He was the first non-Dutch skater to win the 10K world title. In the 20 years that event had been held, the world championships up to that point. That tells you where Fish's game and ability was then. He's 27 years old now. And Fish a 30.4, but Gilek a 30.17. Gielik, he is going to be a guy to be reckoned with at the long distances for the men for a long time to come. Again, 18 years old. He's already flashing in the 10Ks, 12:45s, 12:50s. Only going to get bigger and stronger. But his times rank with the best in the world already. Eitram out of that previous pair put down a personal best as well, 12:38.04. He's in second place, and Snellick right now third. Heisinger fourth, and the American Casey Dawson sits fifth entering this final pair. Laps in. Fish has still not gone below 30. I mean, even at this stage of the race, you can say Fish is going to have no chance at hunting down Giotto. And Gielik and Fish both go sub-30 for the first time. Gielik about 2 seconds on top of Fish at this stage. Fish at 29.79. Giotto's fastest lap was the next to last lap. He went 29.4. And Fish has not quite been flirting with that number yet. Gielik still gliding ahead with the lead. 11 laps left. They both go 29.7. But still 6 and 8 seconds off of the pace. Again, the unofficial world junior record is 13:02.53, set a couple of years ago by Heinrichsen of Norway, right here in Calgary. And that seems to be 100% lock right now, the way that Gielik is skating on the ice here today. So he will pick up his third world junior record at a major distance. 9 laps to go. Fish is still sub-30. Gielik knows is above it by 200ths. And right now, we could see this 18-year-old on the silver podium. He's not just racing for a world junior record. He's racing for a World Cup silver, potentially. Because at this pace, if he can hold off Graham Fish over these final 8 laps, this 18-year-old is going to be a second-place finisher here. But Fish beginning to power a little bit closer to the teenager. Seven laps left. Fish picks up a quarter second. The advantage, though, still to the teenager. Fish, though, has him in his sights. He'll get a bit of a draft here, Graham will. Fish goes 29.6, picks up a half second. And Fish is now closing in on taking the lead in this pair. So coming out of the quarter, Fish in the outer, Zielik in the inner, and this is going to be a dead heat coming up with 5 laps to go. Fish in front of the teenager for the first time. It's a marginal advantage, but an advantage nevertheless. Four laps left. Fans want to get Fish on the podium here in Calgary. And he is starting to pull away from Zielik, up more than a second. Eitram sitting in second at 12:38.0. Snellick in third, 12:39.34. Those are the target times for Fish and Zielik. 3 laps left. Fish right now in third. Zielik is off the podium at this stage. But it's all now about to finish, the final 1,000 meters. So we'll see where Fish is as he crosses the line. 2 laps to go. And this is going to be very tight for second place. Fish has a real chance of finishing silver. 2 more laps of that 30.3 will barely do it. Arm swings, teeth are grinding, the face straining for Graham Fish. Zielik's not out of this race yet. The bell for both Graham Fish and Meta Zielik. Zielik picked up a second on Fish on that last lap, and now he's put himself in a shot to get the silver. 12:38.04, and the exuberance of youth for the 18-year-old is going to send Zielik toward a silver medal. He's around the last corner. 12:38.04 to beat to win the silver. Here's the 18-year-old Zielik, and he has done it. The 18-year-old wins silver in Calgary. And Fish, in the final couple of laps, falters to 5th. 18-year-old energy. We all had it. Zielik currently does. Big finish in the last 800 meters for the 18-year-old. And that is a world junior record for the 18-year-old from Czechia. Meta Zielik now owns world junior records in the 3,000 meters, 5,000 meters, and now the 10K as well, set today in Calgary. Zielik closed in 29.9 and 29.3. The fastest lap of the entire 10K for the teenager was that final lap when he smelled silver and won it. And there is your Calgary champion and the world record holder, Davide Giotto. Quite a podium this will be. Sander Eitram wins bronze, Zielik the silver, and Giotto, the world record holder now in the men's 10,000 meters, wins gold in Calgary with a historic skate. You can see the media in the background waiting to catch the first world record words from Davide. It is a team effort, certainly an individual world record for Giotto, but you can see just how proud the coaching staff was for all of the training to get him there. And look at that, yellow WR by the 12:25.69 for Davide Giotto. The final results: Giotto, Gilek, Eitram, gold, silver, bronze in the 10K. Victory ceremony on the way, and then we will take pause and come back with our much shorter final two events of day 2 in Calgary. The women's 1,500 meters up next, and then the men's 1,000 will close out our day. The updated World Cup standings in the long distance for the men. Gilek, how about that? The 18-year-old is up to 4th overall. Casey Dawson jumps into 8th for the U.S. Giotto, Eitram, and Snellick, the top 3. And there is the man of the moment in the speed skating world. Eavesdropping, he knew it was a very good time, the lap times. Now referencing his race at Inzel back in October that had a world record time to it, but it's not world record certification, but the world record is his now. We'll take a break in about 15 minutes time. We will come back to the Olympic Oval in Calgary with the women's 1,500 meters. We will see if Miho Takagi, the world record holder in this event, can she stay unbeaten in this World Cup season? A lot of foes against her when we return in about 15 minutes time. You are watching ISU's coverage of World Cup Calgary. Don't go anywhere.
gentlemen, we now present the ISU World Cup Speed Skating Victory Ceremony for the winners of the men's 10,000 meters A division.
Mesdames et messieurs, nous présentons maintenant les gagnants du 10 000 mètres hommes.
The medals will be presented by ISU representative Mr. Albert Hazelhoff. Our top three skaters will also receive delicious custom chocolates from Calgary's own The Chocolate Lab. Presented by the leader of Alberta New Democratic Party, Naheed Nenshi. And joining the medalists today will be Poppy Wheelhouse from Banff Canmore Speed Skating Club and Elias Gallardo Markov from the Calgary Speed Skating Association. In third place and winner of the bronze medal, skating a time of 12:38.04, representing Norway, Sander Eichmann. In second place and winner of the silver medal, skating a time of 12:37.81, representing Czechia, Metode Ilak. And in first place and winner of the gold medal, skating an official world record time of 12:25.61, representing Italy, Davide Giotto. Congratulations to our ISU World Cup Speed Skating winner, Davide Giotto, and world record holder, and all of the medalists.
Félicitations à tous les médaillés.
How about a big round of
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
And welcome back inside the Olympic Oval in Calgary, Alberta for ISU's third World Cup stop of this campaign. And what a start we are off to today. The world record broken in the men's 10,000 meter by Italy's Davide Giotto en route to claiming gold. Now we move to the women's 1,500 meter. There are the World Cup standings. Miho Takagi perfect so far this year in both the 1,000 and the 1,500. She claimed gold here in Calgary last night in the 1,000 and trying to go 3 for 3 on the women's side in the 15. There's the start list. We'll see 10 pairs. Takagi will be in pair number 8 against Joy Buna. Ritma de Jong will be in pair number 9. Han May in pair 10. We'll see Blondine and Bo. Seems like they're always matched up in the same pair. They're in pair 7. And now ready to get underway. Pair number 1 will feature an American and a skater from the Republic of Korea. Fans are still settling in after just an electric first hour and a quarter of this afternoon main session.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
And now the introductions for the first pair.
1,500 meter A division in the inside lane representing the country of the United States, Mia Manganiello.
There's a look at Mia Manganiello, bronze medalist
And starting in the
in
outside
Pyeongchang
lane,
in the team
representing country of
pursuit.
Korea,
Two-time Olympian. Here is Park Ji-woo, two-time Olympian from Korea. And each of these skaters out of the B division, the 1,500, and both knocking on Beijing and promoted now to the A division here in Calgary.
Ready.
Manganiello, a third-place finish in the B division in Beijing. Park finished second. That results in their promotion. In the next pair, Greta Myers of the United States won the B division in Beijing. That's why she is up into the A division. So here we go, 3 3/4 laps. Manganiello in the white armband, Park in the red. Manganiello, top 12 finish last year at the World Single Distance at the 1,500 here on this ice. Check the lap times here. Park 28.93, Manganiello 28.28. Setting the pace, first of 10 pairs here in the women's 1,500. Manganiello on the inner, cuts the corner, taking the lead ahead of the bell lap. Manganiello has been as quick as 154.8 over her career. We'll see how she checks in. Spinning out of this final corner. Manganiello tries to hold the technique. Here comes Park on the inner, and Park grabs the lead. Manganiello fading just a bit. Park, well, it looked like Park almost broke stride down the stretch, but she still gets there in 156.33. Almost looked like Park misidentified where the finish line was. So the first pair in the books. Park ahead of Manganiello. 156.33, that's a personal best for Park. Manganiello 156.56.
Good start to the pairings. 10 pairings. Start in the northwest corner. Finish on the bleacher side. Almost
So there
in
is
the
Park. I
northeast
think she
corner.
gave up a little bit of time down the stretch.
We now move to
So
the
now to
second
pair
pairing.
number 2, we will
The
see
inside lane
one of the legends
Check
in
out.
the sport, Chechia, the 37-year-old Martina Savlikova.
And in the outer lane, from the country of the United States of
Three-time
America,
Olympic gold medalist. And here's Greta Myers out of Rollsville, Minnesota. Bronze is part of the team pursuits in Nagano earlier this World Cup season. Her first World Cup medal of her career. Again, she won the B division in Beijing to draw this promotion. And she goes against the legendary Savlikova. Still holds 2 world records, the 10K and the 3K. The 10,000 meter world record is held for Martina since 2007. Here's a look at Greta Myers, 20-year-old American. Savlikova, 7-time Olympic medalist, 16-time world champion. Done it all in this sport. So there's Myers in front for the U.S. 2 laps to come. Now we'll see how the times hold up for Greta Myers. Handles the corner. Myers a 155.67 personal best. That last lap 29.51, so she has that PB in sights. Savlikova right now 3rd out of the first couple of pairs, but she is known as a distance skater. We'll see what she brings to the table in the final 400 meters here against the 20-year-old Myers. Savlikova roaming to the outside. Myers in front, bringing it home. Final couple of meters for Greta Myers. She's going to win the pair. Savlikova was closing, but Myers a 155.33. That is a PB for Greta. And the leader after the first 2 pairs. So we've seen 4 skaters, 2 personal bests so far. And there is your leader after the opening 2 pairs, the 20-year-old American Greta Myers.
we now introduce to you the third pair.
Talked about this a little bit last night with another skater on the men's side in the 1500 up from the B division. Just continue to ladder up ahead of skater after skater. Wound up, I believe, 14th, but those World Cup points matter to try and keep Greta Myers in the A division going ahead to Milwaukee next week. So the fact that she's in front after 2 pairs is important for her. And guaranteed no worse than a 17th place finish. Here we go, pair 3. Horikawa, the 21-year-old from Japan, and Francesca Lollobrigida for Italy. So a really good effort last night by Lollobrigida. Off for the podium, but a very, very consistent long distance effort in the women's 5K. Horikawa motors through on the inner, an Olympian at the age of 18 for Japan in Beijing a couple of years back. There's Lollobrigida kind of fighting through that corner. And 2 laps left. A 28-1 for Lollobrigida. And now we'll see how she's able to keep that lap time as consistent as possible. That was the big strength of hers in the 5K last night. She was within a tenth of a second in most of her laps in that 5K from one another. Now, in this 1,500-meter sprint, likely a very different story. We're just trying to shrink that gap from the first full lap to the second to the third. 29.5 on that lap for Lollobrigida from 28.1. And Lollobrigida marginally ahead of Greta Myers inside the final lap. And Francesca really working hard. Fighting through the final 50 meters or so down the home straight. 155.33 to beat, and Lollobrigida will get there. A 30.02 last lap, and that closes the deal. So 153.65. And Lollobrigida right now your leader. That'll shuffle Greta Myers back down to second position. But again, Horikawa did not get ahead of Greta Myers. Horikawa right now fourth. So that's Greta Myers again moving up one more slot in the standings here in the 1,500, which means more World Cup points, which means a much more likelihood that we'll see Greta Myers in the A division next weekend in Milwaukee. There's your leader, Lollobrigida. Little fist bump with Sablikova.
Welcome to the fourth pairing.
Pair number 4.
The inner lane
One
skater.
from the Netherlands, one from Belgium.
Melissa, fight you.
There's Melissa Wyford, 29-year-old, two-time European champ in the team pursuits. And from 26-year-old Belgian, Isabel van Elst.
Go to the start.
Started representing Belgium a couple of years ago. It started with the Dutch team. Both Dutch and Belgium nationality for her. Clean start. Van Elst in the red armband on the left side of your screen. Van Elst currently ranked 17th here at the 1,500 meter. Wifey 15th. Neither has been inside a top 10 in this World Cup campaign. Van Elst gets out quickly. 25.57 in the first three-quarter lap. There's Melissa Wyfin. 28.38. 2 laps to go. Van Elst in front of the pace set by Myers and Lollobrigida at this stage. Let's see what kind of drop off there is for Van Elst from that first full lap to this one. Is she over 30? Not quite. 29.87 for Van Elst. 29.68 for Wyfia. Van Elst needs to recover about 0.2 of a second. Wyfia the draft. Van Elst coming through the corner in the inner, the home stretch for Isabel Van Elst. A 153.65 to beat. She's not going to get there. She will now be third. So unable to get past Lollobrigida or Myers. But a 155.33, and that's going to be just off of Greta Myers. But that is a personal best for Van Elst by about 1.5 seconds. That's why we saw the excitement on that finish from Isabel. She winds up 1/100th behind Greta Myers. So Myers is still second for the U.S. Lollobrigida is still leading. 6 pairs to go. There's a look at Van Elst off of a personal best. Third we've seen in this 1,500-meter session.
Now in the 5th pairing, the inside lane from the country of
Pair
Kazakhstan,
5.
Nadezhda Morozova.
Olympian Nadezhda Morozova from Kazakhstan. And the first of a couple of Canadians we will see in this 1,500, Valerie Malte. Olympian in short track in Sochi, Olympian in long track in Beijing. Currently ranked 14th for Malte here at the 1,500.
Ready.
We'll see her teammate Evanie Blondin in pair 7 against Brittany Bowe. Morozova began this World Cup campaign in the B division. She won it in Nagano, and she's been in the A division since. Currently ranked 13th. There is Malte. And Morozova goes out in 25.86. Morozova. Match race right now with Malte. 2 laps to go. Malte in front of the home fans. In front. So a 28.0 for Malte. It's a tick faster than Lola Bridges' first full lap. Lola Bridges then clocked at 29.5. We'll see how that compares here with Malte. A 29.3. So Malte in position to take the lead here. One more crossover. Malte will finish on the inner. And harpooning out of this final quarter. Here is Valerie Malte trying to take the lead in pair 5. She will win this pair. And will she be the overall leader halfway through? Not quite. 154.73. That'll put Malte into second position. Morozova 6th. Again, Lola Bridges closed in 30 flat. And Malte, I think there's a 30.8, 30.9. And again, there's that consistency lap to lap that we saw last night from Lola Bridges. Surfacing once again here today. So Lola Bridges still in front after 5 of the 10 pairs. Thanks to Malte for everything she does for the Canadian country. Yeah, you have some empathy for these Canadian skaters in this building this week. You just don't know how many more events are going to be held here unless there's a huge infusion of cash to get this facility back up to standards. Pair 6, Yang Bin Yu, 22-year-old from China, Ragne Wiklund from Norway. The all-around bronze medalist at the Euros a couple of weeks ago.
Ready.
Yang ranked number 9 at the 1,500-meter distance through the first couple of World Cups. He is on the right side of his screen in the white armband. Wiklund has been on a podium in the 3K back in Nagano, silver to Blondin, who is in the next pair with Brittany Bowe. Quick start by Yang. Opener 25.86. Yang still in the green at 27.77. And that's the fastest full first lap we've seen thus far. A couple of top 10 finishes for Yang in each of the first two World Cup events, and she's eyeing at least a top 10 here in Calgary. And let's see how that middle lap looks for Yang. 29.64. Still in the front by about a third of a second. Beekland made up about a half second on Yang on that lap, and looks like Yang is starting to labor a bit. Beekland will close in the inner. And here comes the Norwegian in very good shape. Beekland has blown past Yang in the final 500 or so meters and will claim it in 1:54.48, but that's not quick enough. That will put Beekland second and Yang ninth. Well, that's a disappointing ninth considering 8 more skaters to go. She went out very fast in the first 700 meters. But Lola Brigida still holding up. So now we will get to the second Canadian and the second American in this women's 1500. And these two skaters know each other very, very well. Canada's Yvonne Blondin and the United States' Brittany Bowe. They've been on this circuit for a lot of years and had a ton of success.
You know this country from Canada. Give it up for Yvonne Blondin.
So there's Yvonne. Big fan favorite, Olympic champion in the team pursuit, silver in the mass in Beijing. And Brittany Bowe, one of the most recognizable speed skaters to don the red, white, and blue for the United States.
Ready.
Disappointing distance race yesterday for Blondin, certainly in the women's 5,000. I mean, she was a non-factor in that race, which is a race that you would have expected a pretty good result from Blondin. Bowe finished 5th in the 1,000. Missed the podium by 7/10 behind Han Mei. Again, that 5,000, Blondin finished 11th out of 12 skaters. She was 26 seconds off of the winner. She'll try to atone here today. 2 laps to go. Brittany Bowe out 53.12, Blondin 53.55. Now the back half of this 1500. We'll see how each of these two hold up. They both are pacing ahead of Lola Brigida at this point. Bowe has had a barrel of success, the 1000s and 1500s over her career. There's the bell. This is a tight one. Bowe and Blondin are still ahead of Lola Brigida. Bowe a slight narrow lead over Blondin in this pair. And Bowe will get the last wrap. You see the wincing on the face of Blondin. Bowe will finish in the inner. And Blondin again is really fighting it. Brittany Bowe manages the corner, and Bowe has the lead. 153.65 to knock off Lola Brigida from the top, and Brittany Bowe has not done it. Lola Brigida's time survives again, and she remains in the lead with 3 pairs to go. Bowe second, and Blondin another disappointing last lap in this 1500. She is 5th with 6 skaters to come. So now we will get to the top 6 ranked 1,500 meter skaters, and as the luck of the draw would have it, the top two in the world are in this very next pair matched up against one another. And that means it's Miho Takagi, who has not been beaten this year in either the 1,000 or the 1,500. Takagi claimed the 1,000 last night over Yuta Leerdam and Han Mei. Takagi will start in the outer.
Inner lane from the country of the Netherlands, Joy Bune.
And Joy Bune, silver overall at the European Championships a couple of weeks ago. World bronze last year at the 1,500. And there's Miho Takagi, 6-time Olympic medalist, world record holder, track record holder as well here in Calgary.
Ready.
And again, Takagi has not lost this year, but she's not in the final pair, so she needs to throw down a time right now and then hope it's fast enough with Dalaman and De Jong coming up, and then Groenewald and Hahn in the final pair. Miho has not lost a World Cup event yet this year. And she opens in 24.84. That's the fastest. Bune right now in fourth. Takagi is calm and cool as they come, 30 years old. Set the track record here 5 years ago, set the world record in Salt Lake City back in 2019. And she is still in front comfortably. First full lap of 27.98, Bune 27.55. See how that translates to a little bit extra speed here for Bune. Both coming out of the corner about the same speed and basically stride for stride. 1 lap to go. Takagi being pushed by Joy Bune. Takagi a lead of 900ths in this pair. She hasn't lost this year, but Joy Bune giving her a run. And it's going to come down to handling this final turn. Bune in the outer, Takagi in the inner. And this could come down to the blades. Takagi and Bune. Takagi knows it ahead. Bune a late charge, and Bune is going to knock off Takagi. They go 1-2, a 151.72 for Joy Bune, who takes down Takagi in pair 8. And the undefeated season for Takagi has ended. And Joy is joyful. 151.72. That's a PB by about a half a second for Bune. So Takagi second. Lola Bridger right now third. And that pushes Brittany Bowe to fourth. 2 pairs left. And you could just see with Takagi down the stretch, she knew in the final 10, 15 meters, she just didn't quite have that final late push as Bune powered by her in the outer. So 2 pairs to go. 3 of the last 4 skaters will be from the Netherlands. 2 of them in this pair. Angel Dalaman, 17-year-old, who claimed 6 golds last year at the World Junior Championships.
And in the outer lane, from also
and
from
here is Antoinette Ratma de Jong. 4 straight European all-round championships, including one a couple of weeks ago. Dalaman 17, de Jong 29. Dalaman in the red armband.
Ready.
Check that, Dalaman in the white armband and starting in the inner. De Jong in the red on the left. Now the time Bune is put down, 151.72. That is, to the hundredths of a second, the exact personal best of Ripa de Jong. So that's what DeYoung would have to throw down here to tie or perhaps win gold in Calgary. And she's out in 25:18, but Dalaman goes out faster, 25:04. Saw Dalaman in the 1,000 yesterday, personal best, finishing 4th. So she is in very good form coming into tonight. Trying to get on the podium. And again, the youngest competitor of anybody here this weekend. And there's a look at DeYoung, and there's Dalaman in the white armband as they will hear the bell. Dalaman in front. The bell sounds. Dalaman right now in front by almost 3/10. And she's 4/10 clear of Ritma DeYoung. Yeah, we saw the youthful final lap come through in the men's 10K with Zilik a little bit ago. We'll see what the 17-year-old has for her final lap of this 1500. But here comes DeYoung on the inner, closing hard and pushing forward, and Dalaman is going to fade in this pair. And DeYoung closes in 3rd position with 1 pair to go. So it is still Buna and Takagi, 1-2. And 1 more pair to go. Nice finish by Ritma DeYoung. Dalaman 4th with 1 pair left. Nice finish by DeYoung. She picked up about 0.8 of a second on that last lap on Dalaman. So there are the updated standings. 1 pair left. Joy Buna right there in front. Takagi is no longer undefeated. Buna hopeful for a gold in Calgary. Here's the final pair.
Pairing of the women's 1,500-meter race in World Cup 3 in the inner lane from the Netherlands, Marika Groenewald.
There's Marika Groenewald, 25-year-old Olympian, bronze medalist, and bronze from last night. Han Mei in the women's 1,000. She's currently ranked number 3. 2-time Olympian from China.
Ready.
Well, for Joy Buna, she wasn't the fastest opener, not by a long shot. Right now she's 6th out of the first 18 skaters. But she did her damage really in that last 400 meters, the final lap. I mean, she was pretty flat from the middle lap to the last lap. And Han goes out fastest, 25:53. 5th fastest of all the competitors. But a little bit faster than Buna was. Buna at this stage was 53:19. Han is 11 hundredths of a second off. So Joy Buna watching the final 700 meters or so. And she may be gold here in a moment. Han Mei will check the time. Buna was 1:21.82 at this stage. And Han is over 122. She's 1:22.78, almost a full second behind. And things looking very good for Buna. Han Mei. Groenewald, a distant second in this pair. And here's the final corner for Han. Comes out of that inner corner, driving toward the finish. Buna's time is 1:51.72, and Joy Buna is going to win gold. Han Mei finishes 7th. And Joy Buna of the Netherlands matched up in a pair with Miho Takagi. Beat Takagi in the final 15 meters and wins gold in Calgary in the women's 1500 meter. And it took a personal best for Buna, but about a half a second. And Takagi unbeaten no more. And Joy Buna claims her first World Cup gold of this season. And she finished bronze in the 1500 in Nagano, bronze in the 3K in Nagano. Buna a silver in the 1500 in Beijing, silver to Vikeland in the 3,000 meter in Beijing, but no more silver, no more bronze in this World Cup season for Joy Buna. Gold awaits the 25-year-old. And there are the final results. By 1,300s over Takagi. She will win silver. Rima de Jong bronze, and the 17-year-old from the Netherlands, Angel Dalaman, a second consecutive fourth-place finish here in Calgary after a fourth last night in the 1,000. Greta Myers, an 11th place finish. Manganello, 19th. Brittany Bowe finished 6th for the U.S. And the updated World Cup standings. Takagi still on top, Buna second. Rima de Jong third, Brittany Bowe is fifth. There's Dalaman, the 17-year-old, in fourth position. And Lola Brigida, very good effort here today. Lola Brigida finishing fifth. She's now into the top 10. So there's your gold medalist in Calgary, Joy Buna, taking down the women's 1500. So we'll have another modest break as they resurface the ice, and we will come back with our final A-Division events in Calgary on day 2. Jordan Stalls will go for yet another World Cup gold medal. Can he make it 19 in a row? We'll see him matched up against Kjeld Naus in the final pair. The men's 1,000 meter from Calgary on the way. Don't go anywhere.
Last shot. Test, test. Two minutes. 2 minutes.
And welcome back to the Olympic Oval in Calgary. Started slow with the men's 10,000 meter today. We wind up fast. It's the men's 1,000 meter. And the question, actually dual questions here as we get ready for the men's 1,000. Can Jordan Stolz win a 19th straight World Cup event? The other question is, can he break his own world record in the process? So those are the questions we will be contemplating and witnessing over the next half hour or so. Stolz will be in the final pair matched up against Kjeld Naus. And here's a look at the start list for the men. We'll open things up with Matthias Voste against Lian of China. Zach Stoppelmoor and Cooper McLeod. A couple of other Americans in the running here. McLeod comes in number 3 in the rankings at the 1,000 meter over the course of the year. And Yenning Debo, we'll see Debo come up in pair number 8, the European sprint champion. A couple of weeks ago, Debo will be a real foil here for Stolz, who did win another World Cup gold yesterday in the 1,500. But one of the things he did comment after the event last night was, physically he wasn't feeling up to 100%. Had a big headache, caused him some issues, felt like his head was about to explode, he said, but yet still continues to win. But Ning Zhongyan, Yenny Debo, Kjeld Naus, Shinhama, and everybody taking the cracks at Jordan Stolz. So we'll see how he fares here today, looking for his 19th in a row as he get ready to go. Pair number 1 of the men's 1,000 meter here in Calgary.
Ready.
Voste opens in the inner. He is the Belgian record holder in the 1,000 meter. Lian Ziwen, part of China's Team Sprint Gold World Cup a couple of years ago, the first ever Chinese team to win a World Cup event in the team sprints. So they will set the early number here, with 9 more pairs to follow. And the bell lap, Lian out ahead, 41.20. Voste and Lian both up out of the B division for the first couple of World Cup events. And now breaking around the final corner. That is Lian in front. Voste will finish in the inner, and Lian is going to get to the line. A 108.13 to open up action here in the men's 1,000. So Leon gets things underway by winning his opening pair. There's another event after this men's 1,000 tonight. It'll be the B division of the men's 10,000. We will not have that broadcast for you. We'll be back tomorrow with the women's and men's 500, the mass start, the team sprint. Those are the 3A division events. They close things up tomorrow. A second pair. Zach Stoppelmoor. Stoppelmoor out of Des Moines, Iowa, 25-year-old. And here from the Republic of Korea, Cho Sang-yuk. World Junior silver medalist a few years ago in the 1,000 meters. Called back. False start. Stoppelmoor. Let's have a look. Just seemed to rise out of that three-point stance a little early. Down start like Joey Cheek and others after used to employ. See Aaron Jackson out of that down start position as well. Stoppelmoor trying to
false start, inner lane.
Admonish himself and get back in the right frame of mind.
Go to the start. Ready.
Clean start this time. Stoppelmoor opens on the inner. Cho on the outer. Cho won the B division in Beijing to get up into the A division here this weekend. Stoppelmoor has been in the A division in all three World Cup events, but he needs a nice finish here to certify that moving forward toward Milwaukee next week. Here's a look at Zach around the corner, bell lap. Cho right now up by about 1,900 in this pair. Slightly faster than Leon in the opening pair. See what Stoppelmoor brings to the checkered flag here. He'll finish on the inner. Work through the corner. Stoppelmoor in good shape. A nice edge to Stoppelmoor. A late charge by Cho, but it will be Stoppelmoor. 108.17. That's 4/100ths behind Leon Ziwen. So Stoppelmoor right now in second position. Stoppelmoor 1,700ths off his PB on that race. So there is Stoppelmoor. As we move now, pair number 3.
Inside lane from the country of Poland.
Poland's 25-year-old Damian Jurek. 7th last year at the world single distance.
And in the outside
Took bronze last year in the 500. And here's a 3-time Olympic medalist, Kim Min-suk, now representing Hungary. He's taken bronze in the 1,500 in each of the last 2 Olympic Games.
Ready.
Kim won the B in Nagano to get up to the main division. Finished 17th in Beijing, so he needs a good effort here as well. Currently ranked 16th. There's Zurich. Zurich hears the bell, and he's in front right now and toying with the lead after 3 pairs. 24:38 lap for Zurich. But now here comes Kim In-suk. Last corner. Zurich hanging on, isn't he? Strays a bit wide, but a good stretch, and Zurich is your new leader. Yes, 107.19, and that is a PB for Zurich. Kim right now in second position. And Kim also with a personal best here in the 1,000 meters, 107.64. He shaves about a half second off. So Zurich at the top of the leaderboard after the opening 3 pairs here in the 1,000. Yeah, it was an emphatic stretch. And out of pair number 4. And we'll get a look at Laurent Debray of Canada. Interesting to see him back. The last time we saw him, he was clearly dealing with some injury issues, in which we saw him start in the A division, but then go off at about 20% just to finish dozens of seconds behind the leaders just to get the World Cup points. But clearly time has been his ally. He is healed up, and he's matched up against Stefan Emily of Germany. So the silver medalists in the Beijing Games in the 1,000 Debray starts in the inner for Canada.
Ready.
And a much more normal start for Debray. So Debray is back. We'll see how he fares here in his pair. And he will have the support of the Canadian fans here. Getting a very good extension out quickly. 16:01 for Debray. Debray right now, the class of this pair against Emily. The bell for Debray. 40.64, slightly off of the pace of Zurich. At least try to give the Canadian fans something to hang their hat on, hoping that Debray can be the leader after 4 pairs. Here he comes out of the final corner. Emily will wrap up in the outer, and Debray on the way home, and he is third, a 107.73. It's a solid second off of his personal best time, but good to see him back there at full speed. But the quality in terms of time wasn't quite there today. So that's 4 of the 10 pairs, and Damian Zurich of Poland, whose best finish this year has been 13th. He's your leader. So there's Debray. He'll continue to work himself back into game shape. Pair 5 from Germany, Moritz Klein. 15th last year at the world single distance here at the 1,000. And from the Netherlands, there's 22-year-old Joep Wennemars.
Go to the start.
Marsh and Klein, pair 5. And they're attacking that opening quarter. 16:42 for Marsh, Klein 16:82. We'll see Shinhama in the next pair. Getting to Bo in pair 8, Ning in 9, and then Stolz and Naus in the final pair. So settle in over these next 15 minutes. The bell for Marsh. On top of the field here in this pair. Marsh came in ranked number 12. His year began in the B division as well, but he's now 12th in the classification. Feels the burn around this last corner, and here comes Klein, but it will be Marsh in 108.16. 5th position at the moment. Klein in 9th. And Zurich remains on top halfway through. So it's Zurich, Kim, and Dubray right now, 1, 2, 3. So now to pair 6, we'll see 2 from Japan, 2 of the 3 in this 1,000-meter field. Shinhama, Nonomura. Kojima will be coming up next. That's Tetsuya Shinhama, 28-year-old. Took a world bronze 5 years ago in the 500, and here is Nonomura. 10th place finish for Nonomura in each of the 2000s this year, the World Cup.
Ready.
So Nonomura and Shinhama, teammates. Off they go in pair 6. Shinhama, 6th place finish last year at the World Single Distance here at the 1,000. And he goes out in 16:17. How can he maintain the speed here? Shinhama, the white armband. Nonomura trailing him. Shinhama's fallen off of the pace. The times in this men's 1,000 so far have not been crisp. But we will let Jordan Stolz and company, and probably DeBow, give us a real litmus test on how this ice is faring on this late Saturday afternoon in Calgary. And Shinhama will get there, and he's the new leader. A 26:16 last lap. Shinhama 107.16, so by 3 100ths, he knocks Zurich off the top. So Shinhama, the new leader. Zurich now to 2nd, Kim 3rd. So 4 pairs to come. Again, DeBow will be in pair 8, Ning in 9, and then Jordan Stolz in pair 10, the final pair for the U.S. against Kiel Naus. Good applause for Shinhama, your leader, by a whisker over Zurich. 7th pair on the ice. The young Dutchman, Tim Prins. He's 21. Been a pair of top 8 finishes this year, and there's Ryota Kojima, Olympian from Japan.
Go to the start.
Finished just off the podium in Nagano. Kojima finished 4th. Prinz and Kojima. Pair 7. Shinhama, your new leader. And Prinz goes out in 16:44. Kojima 16:70. Not the type of front end speed you're looking to build if you're these two in this 1,000-meter sprint. Try to make it up now in the back half. Be a tough task for these two. There's the bell. Prinz right now slightly on top of Shinhama as he winds it up through the back straight. And one last crossover will take Prinz to the inner. He's still slightly ahead of Shinhama's time. The final corner for Tim Prinz. And the 21-year-old Dutchman bringing it home. Will he be our new leader? He will. He's the first to go under 107. 106.80 for Prinz. Not quite a personal best, but a good effort. Kojima sitting fourth. So it's Prinz, Shinhama, and Zurich right now, your top three. But now is where the rubber meets the road. The final three pairs. And big names in all of them. Including the world record holder. And at this stage, invincible American skater Jordan Stolz. He will be in the final pair. So there's Prinz, your leader. Shinhama, and then Zurich. So now to the eighth pair. We'll see Yenny Nebo, who just a couple of weeks ago, the 21-year-old was crowned the European Sprint Champion. There's Martin Leave, Olympian representing Estonia.
And in the outside lane.
And there is Yenny Nebo.
Yenny Nebo.
Started his career in short track, moved to the long track 2 years ago,
To the start.
and has become now one of the top rivals to Jordan Stolz. Nebo has been close to knocking off Stolz, but has not quite gotten there. A little stumble out of the start by Nebo, but away we go. The track record is 106.05 that Stolz set last year. The world record is 105.37, and Nebo goes out in 16.06. So a blistering start for Yenny Nebo. Shifts to the inner. I mean, he's thinking to himself, I know that Stolz is a generational guy, but I know I'm close. And one of these days, one of these races, it's going to go my way. It might tonight be the day. The back straight in the final lap for Nebo. Trying to lay down a formidable time for Stolz. And here comes Nebo. He'll finish in the outer. The track record is 106.05 for Nebo. Here he comes, and it's a tie of the track record. That's a number. And the gauntlet has been thrown by Yenny Nebo. Matches Stolz's track record from last year. And they will check on the numbers to make sure it is 106.05 as far as the track record is concerned. But Yenny Nebo, he started fast and laid down a large final lap. He closed in 26 flat. And look at this reaction when he sees the time. Oh, baby. It's not just the track record. It's not just the PB. Jordan Stolz is on alert now, thanks to that 21-year-old from the Netherlands.
2 pairings to go.
And Stolz is on deck. Here's pair 9, Cooper McLeod of the United States.
Cooper McLeod.
McLeod ranked number 3 at the 1,000-meter distance. And here's Ning Zhongyang, who has again been pretty much side by side with Stoltz in a lot of races this year in the 1,000s and 1,500s. But much like DeBow, he's not quite gotten to the top of the mountain. But how about that time by DeBow? Oh, a little wobble there. Really by both. I saw Ning shuffle a bit, but I saw McLeod with a bit of a
false start, outer lane, going down too slow.
A sign of false start against Ning, but we saw some shakiness by McLeod as well on the inner here. And that back skate was given away. But Ning charged with a false start.
Ready.
Clean start this time for the number 3 and number 4 ranked 1,000-meter skaters for the men. McLeod on the podium in Nagano for bronze. And then Ning out on the podium for bronze in Beijing. Let's check the openers. 16.2 for McLeod, 16.58 for Ning. DeBow went out in 16.09. McLeod hanging through that corner. There's Ning gliding through. Here's the bell for both. Still off the pace. McLeod about 3/4 of a second off. Ning more than a second. Look at Ning lean into that corner. The back straight. The final cross. 106.05 the time for DeBow. And Ning pulling away from McLeod and a 1:06.98. That's good for third for Ning Zhongyang. McLeod, meanwhile, 107.75. And McLeod currently 10th. So the top 3 at the moment. DeBow with a PB and tying of the track record. Prins and Ning. And now to the final pair. And if Jordan Stoltz is to claim his 19th consecutive unprecedented World Cup gold, he will need to break his own track record that he set last year. Said he dealt with headaches yesterday. His head was so full he felt like it was going to explode. It still did not deny him another gold, an 18th in a row in the 1500. And he's going up against the 3-time Olympic gold medalist, Kjell Naus. So the 20-year-old from Wisconsin on an 18 World Cup winning streak. But he will need to break his own track record to run it to 19.
Ready.
Yenny DeBow, the leader. And here we go. Stoltz has been tested and he has aced every exam over the last 2 years at the World Cup level. He has had to throw down big times in big moments to stay unbeaten. And in this 1,000-meter, he will need a large one to stay undefeated. And there is Stoltz just shooting through the corner. He's out in 16.01. So he is right in line with DeBow's opening 200. And here is Stoltz. Coming around the corner, he will hear the bell. We'll check the splits. 40.22. He's about a 1/4 second behind. So now the challenge is true for Stoltz. When he has needed a large last lap, he has come through every single time. Naus will draft. And Stoltz around the last corner. Unbeaten for a year and a half, 18 straight. Here's Stoltz, 106.05 is the time to beat, and he's done it again! Breaks his own track record, 105.91. It's an unbelievable run for Jordan Stoltz. 19 straight World Cup golds. Breaks his own track record. There is no stopping Stolz. DeBow, who tied Stolz's track record set last year, you have to think he was saying, I'm going to get it this time. It's my time. But Stolz, in the final 400 meters, closes in 25.6. And outpips DeBow yet again and resets his own track record. I don't know what the other competitors can do to defeat Jordan Stolz. It just might not be in the cards. Great race by Naus. 106.73. He'll take bronze. DeBow, silver. Well, that man is in another galaxy in this sport. And by man, he's just 20. He just turned 20. What a future he has. Goodness. Final results. Stolz, track record, 105.90. Gold for the 19th straight World Cup event. Yanni DeBow, silver. That was the track record that he tied, 106.05. And Kjell Naus will take bronze, 106.73. The rest of the results for the 20 competitors. You run out of superlatives. An astonishing athlete is a phrase that is a disservice to Jordan Stolz. That doesn't begin to tell his story. But his story, frankly, is just still in the early chapter. The updated World Cup standings of the 1,000. Stolz remains perfect. DeBow second. Naus now third. Ning in fourth. Never gets old, does it? And we'll see Stolz again tomorrow in the 500, trying to run the table yet again at a World Cup event. He's just skating. He's just doing his thing. Playing his sport. Probably oblivious to the ubiquitous history that he is setting every time he puts the blades on and gets on the ice. So the warm-up jacket for Stolz. Rest, recovery. We'll see him again tomorrow. That will end our coverage from Calgary for today. Again, the B division of the men's 10,000 meter will be occurring on this ice after we sign off. But again tomorrow, as we come on the air, the women's and men's 500, which again will feature Jordan Stolz. Can he make it 21? Actually be 20 in a row tomorrow. Then we'll have the mass starts for the women and the men, and then close things down with the team sprints. 19 straight World Cup golds for Jordan Stolz. It took undercutting his own track record from last year to stay invincible. But invincible he is. Stay tuned. We'll go down to the ice for the victory ceremony for Jordan Stolz. But for now, we say so long from Calgary and the Olympic Oval in Calgary, Canada. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast the first couple of days. Day 3 coming up tomorrow to close down World Cup Calgary. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Patrick Keane is saying thank you for watching. Good night from Calgary.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now present the ISU World Cup Speed Skating Victory Ceremony for the women. Winners of the women's 1500 meters.
Mesdames et messieurs, nous présentons maintenant les gagnantes du 1500 mètres femmes.
The medals will be presented by ISU representative Mr. Albert Hasselhoff. Our top 3 skaters will also receive delicious custom chocolates from Calgary's own The Chocolate Lab, presented by Tricia Smith, president of the Canadian Olympic Committee. And joining the medalists today are Claire Peet from the Lethbridge Speed Skating Association and Samuel Campbell from the Calgary Grizzlies Speed Skating Club. In third place and winner of the bronze medal, skating a time of 1:52.17, representing the Netherlands, Antoinette Rijkma Dion. In second place and winner of the silver medal, skating a time of 1:51.85, representing her country of Japan, Miho Kake. In first place and winner of the gold medal, skating a time of 1:51.72, representing the Netherlands, Joy Une. This medal ceremony for the women's 1500 meter, we will go to the men's. and gentlemen, we now present the ISU World Cup Speed Skating Victory Ceremony for the winners of the men's 1,000 meters.
Mesdames et messieurs, nous présentons maintenant les gagnants du 1000 mètres hommes.
The medals will be presented by ISU representative Mr. Albert Hasselhoff. Our top 3 skaters will also receive delicious custom chocolates from Calgary's own The Chocolate Lab, presented by Ron Weiser, chair of the Speed Skating Canada Board of Directors. Then joining the medalists today are Claire Peak, once again from the Lethbridge Speed Skating Association, and Samuel Campbell, also joining us, and he's from the Calgary Grizzlies Speed Skating Club. In third place and winner of the bronze medal, skating a time of 106.73, representing the Netherlands, Kjeld Nusch. In second place and winner of the silver medal, skating a time of 106.15, representing as well the Netherlands, Jenny de Boom. And in first place, the winner of the gold medal, skating an unofficial track record time of 105.90, representing the United States of America, Jordan Stolz. Congratulations to our ISU World Cup Speed Skating winner and all the medalists.
Félicitations à tous les médaillés.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes